Fitzy and Wippa.
Captain Pete Maverick Mitchell.
I have to admit, I wasn't expecting an invitation back.
Your reputation precedes you.
From Top Gun Maverick, Jon Hamm
And we're off.
joins Fitzy and Wippa.
Jon Hamm, you beautiful man.
Hello there.
Oh, this is an absolute pleasure, John. Because
Fitzy
you...
Wippa.
Yeah, Fitzy.
Got it.
Fitzy and Wippa.
It's a pretty good Aussie way of saying it. Jon Hamm.
Well, you have contacted us once, John. This was in 2016. The last time you were here, you were the International Man of the Decade. Do you remember that at the GQ Awards?
I do remember that. It was quite a decade.
So you celebrated for 10 years straight. The party didn't stop,
right.
John.
That's right. That was a very fun party. My best friend that I grew up with, who I probably ended up seeing Top Gun with about 100 times when we were in our teens, moved down to Sydney with his wife and kids a few years back, and I was able to come visit him for that particular party. And I took him with me. We both got our tuxedos on and went out and partied like it was 1989.
Oh,
How much fun. Wrong decade to be in, but knowing the award. But
I do love those stories, though, John, of your high school mates growing up with, and your career has gone from strength to strength. But do you still grab them every now and then, and you take them to a party like that?
We have a pretty solid text chain that keeps going, and I remember when I told them I was going to be a part of this film, the response was incredulous. Yeah. And then when I was able to tell them that not only is my call sign Cyclone, but now that I will only respond to any questions if they either lead with Cyclone or the emoji for the tornado, then
awesome. Do you know what I love
very
about
much worth it.
Yeah, what I love about it too is the conflicting roles that you have and also Tom Cruise. And there's some really intense moments in the film between the two of you. Were there moments where you broke out in laughter just to ease, the level of intensity of those scenes?
I would have to check myself every day when I would come on set and put my uniform on.
And your straight face.
We were on a very much a active naval base here in San Diego, and at a certain point we were on a very active aircraft carrier, the USS Theodore Roosevelt.
Yeah, right.
So a lot of my day was pretty much making sure I didn't step on or break anything that was going to explode or start a global conflict or get me a bill from the Navy for $20-30 million. So it's a very humbling experience to be around this level of not only filmmaking but awe-inspiring power. And Tom is very much a part of that. Tom is a wonderful scene partner, but he's one of the few guys who genuinely have the title movie star with a capital M and a capital S.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what's disappointing, though, John? There was the iconic scene from the original, which was the volleyball scene, all with tops off.
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, I know, but see, this one is amazing as well. Sarah, you're going to love this. Down on the beach, Miles Teller.
Oh, hot.
But no Jon Hamm with top off down on the beach. Did you put
I would say differently hot in that I was wearing a full uniform and long pants and socks and loafers, so I was actually quite sweaty.
Yeah. More of a power play, you might say. So if this was a huge movie for you growing up, you would have busted your nut. You would have been desperate to be part of this new sequel, Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? Had I been able to time travel and communicate with my 15-year-old self, I would have, first of all, said, probably wear more sunscreen.
Yes.
But I would also say, don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. You're going to be in the sequel to this.
Wow.
In 35 years.
Dude, can I just say, and John, it's really disappointing because Wippa never saw the original, but I took Wippa along to see Maverick. Mate, I know. John's got his hands in the air going, are you serious?
Well, then let me say, even not having seen the first, this is one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it. I got out of it and I rang all my mates. It's sensational.
I would agree with that assessment. You don't need to have seen the first one for this movie to have an impact on you, for sure. However, if you have seen it, there's so much in it that is referential and as homage, and very nostalgic for the first one. But yes, you're correct. It does stand on its own, and especially from a filmmaking standpoint, the sequences that they were able to capture with the actors in the F-18s and the flying sequences are truly jaw-dropping. And I can't wait for people to see it on a big screen. This is not being dropped on a streamer. This is not going to be on your phone. You're going to see this one in Dolby and IMAX and every other thing, and it's gonna blow your hair back.
Yeah, congratulations, buddy.
Yeah, well done. It's an amazing movie. How would have you gone in the F-18, John, yourself, if you had to do some filming in there?
Oh, it would not have ended well. I can tell you that much.
Brown pants.
There would have been bodily fluids coating the inside of that cockpit. It would not have been pretty. The fact that these guys had to go through, and I mean months of training. They had something like 50, 60 hours in a cockpit, something like 20 hours in the cockpit of an F-18, which is something that very few people get to do on the planet. So they were very, very prepared, and they had to be. We're also talking about not only lives being at stake, but these planes go about $80 million each. So the Navy doesn't just toss them around willy-nilly.
And Tom Cruise was flying it himself, yeah?
They're not so keen on giving the stick over to the actor, no matter who it is. But yeah, there's a lot of taxpayer responsibility that those guys have.
Of course.
But yeah, it's all up there on the screen, and it's 60 feet tall, and it's in your face, and it's unlike any movie I've ever seen, and I'm very happy to be a part of it.
Top Gun Maverick will be out in cinemas on May 26. Our international man of the decade here in Australia, Jon Hamm. We appreciate your time, buddy.
Thanks very much for having me. Great to see you guys again.
Thanks, mate. Take it easy.
See you, mate.
Fitzy and Wippa.